From the vibrant streets of Mexico City to the diverse neighborhoods of Los Angeles, the term Latinx has become a point of discussion, debate, and identity. But what does Latinx mean? Where did it come from? And why is it important to some, yet controversial to others? Latinx is more than just a label, it represents a growing movement toward inclusivity and gender neutrality. In a world where language shapes identity, the term aims to break away from traditional gendered Spanish words like Latino and Latina. But to fully understand its significance, we need to explore the history of Latin American identity, the influence of colonialism, and the evolution of language itself. In Spanish, nouns and adjectives are gendered. Traditionally, Latino refers to men or a mixed group, while Latina is used for women. But in recent years, activists and scholars have pushed for more inclusive language, especially for non-binary and gender non-conforming individuals. That's where Latinx comes in. X replaces gendered endings, making the term open to anyone who doesn't fit within the traditional binary. This change reflects a broader societal shift toward recognizing gender diversity. But not everyone agrees with its use. While many young activists and members of the LGBTQ+ community embrace the term, others argue that it feels unnatural in Spanish. Some believe Latine, which follows Spanish phonetics more smoothly, is a better alternative. Others feel there's no need to change the language at all. Polls show that only 3% of U.S. Hispanics use the term Latinx regularly. A 2020 Pew Research study found that while Latinx is widely recognized, only a small percentage of Latinos actually use it. Critics argue that it's a term created in academic and activist spaces rather than something that organically emerged within Spanish-speaking communities. Some say it's unnecessary. After all, Spanish speakers have long used words like Latino and Latina with pride. Others feel it represents an important step toward progress and visibility for non-binary individuals. Regardless of personal opinion, one thing is clear: the conversation around language and identity is far from over. The rich diversity of Latin America. But let's take a step back. The Latinx community is incredibly diverse, spanning more than 20 countries across South America, Central America, and the Caribbean. With over 400 million Spanish speakers and countless indigenous, Afro-Latinx, and mixed-race communities, the idea of a single Latino or Latinx identity is complex. Did you know that millions of Latin Americans don't even speak Spanish as their first language? Indigenous languages like Quechua, Nahuatl, and Guarani are still spoken by millions today. And in places like Brazil, where Portuguese is the dominant language, the term Latino itself is sometimes debated. So when we talk about the term Latinx, we also have to acknowledge the deep complexity of Latin American identity itself. Despite ongoing debates about language, One thing is certain: Latinx people have left an indelible mark on the world. From legendary artists like Frida Kahlo and Diego Rivera to modern icons like Bad Bunny and Lin-Manuel Miranda, Latinx creativity continues to shape global culture. But it's not just music and art. Latinx individuals have played critical roles in politics, science, and activism. Figures like Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, Supreme Court Justice Sonia Sotomayor, and astronaut Ellen Ochoa have paved the way for future generations. Latinx scientists have contributed groundbreaking research in medicine, engineering, and space exploration. And Latinx entrepreneurs are driving economic growth, with Latino-owned businesses being one of the fastest-growing sectors in the U.S. So where does this all lead? Will Latinx become more widely used, or will another term take its place? Language is constantly evolving, and the ways people identify will continue to shift. Whether you use Latino, Latina, Latinx, Latine, or something else entirely, what matters most is respecting people's identities and cultural experiences. At the end of the day, the Latinx community is not defined by a single word, it's defined by its resilience, culture, and the millions of stories that shape it. What do you think? Do you use the term Latinx, or do you prefer something else? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more deep dives into history, culture, and identity.